in person today. There you go. I was waiting to hear that. So thank you everyone for, hello everyone, and thank you for attending the Kalihi Valley number 16 Neighborhood Board meeting. Today is Wednesday, June 10th, and it is now 6:31 p.m. I do want to read the rules of speaking. So anyone wishing to speak is asked to click the raise hand icon and then recognized by the chair to address comments to the chair. And to make it a little easier, since I'm virtual, you can speak your name in the mic, so that way we can all hear who's talking. Speakers are encouraged to keep their comments under 2 to 5 minutes, and those giving reports are encouraged to keep their reports under 3 to 5 minutes. Please ensure your microphone is muted unless you are speaking. Please state your first and last name for the record before moving into your comments or questions. Written testimony may also be submitted via email using the contact information listed on the Neighborhood Commission Office website. Please silence all electronic devices. Note the board may take action on any agenda item as required by the State Sunshine Law, Hawaii Revised Statute, Chapter 92. Specific issues not listed on this agenda cannot be voted on unless properly added to the agenda. And you can find archive of handouts and reference materials concerning Kalihi Valley Neighborhood Board number 16 in our Google Drive, and meeting recordings can be found on YouTube. So before we start the meeting, I believe we have quorum. We have 6 people to, or 6 board members to vote. Is that correct, Anson? To have we have the we have a representative from Congressman Ed Case's office, and he'd like to report, and we can add him under state and federal elected officials. Item number 6. Can we have that vote right now?
Oh, yes, that's fine.
Yeah. To make it quicker, I'll just say if there's any objections, speak now and or abstains. And if not, seeing and hearing none. So I'll take that as a unanimous aye, right, agreement. So then I'm assuming we can add Ed Case on the agenda that way. Is that okay? Or his office under state and federal. Is that okay? Did I do it properly? I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Okay. In that case, then we can move on to city monthly reports. Honolulu Fire Department. Are they online or in person?
They just arrived. They're
Oh,
signing
perfect.
in.
Got it. Yeah. So if, okay, gotcha.
Aloha, I'm Kyle with the Honolulu Fire Department over at Station 32. So we just have some stuff to read off as far as our statistics for the month of June. We had 53 medicals, 1 motor vehicle accident, and then we have a safety tip from HFD. Hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. As we enter into the season, check your kits, refresh your supplies, ensure everyone in your family knows the plan. We do have a site to go look at for more information. That's honolulu.gov/DEM. That's honolulu.gov/DEM. Some of the main tips is to build your 14-day supply kit to include everything your household would need to survive for 2 weeks without utilities or access to outside supplies. Another one is check your insurance policies to determine what, if any, hurricane-related damage is covered by your policy. And standard homeowners and renters insurance do not include hurricane or flood coverage. Let's see, you can sign up to get storm alerts direct to your phone at hnlalert.gov. That's HNL. And then if you have any further questions, we have an email at hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. One more time, hfdnhb@honolulu.gov. They need anything repeated? Nope, all good. Thank you, guys.
Oh,
Thank you. Oh, any questions from the board, online or in person, for HFD? Seeing.
I have
Oh,
a question.
okay.
Not the report, but just wanted to remind you about November 27th, which is the Kalihi Business Association Christmas Parade. do you have that on your calendar?
We will. I'll add it up there if we don't have it.
Yes, please, because I know it's one of the state's oldest Christmas parade that starts off the holidays in the state of Hawaii. So it would be
November.
nice to have our November 27, 2026.
Yeah.
And it starts from Kalihi Union Church and we end at Kamehameha Shopping Center.
Is there anywhere to find more information on that?
Yes, once I get your email, then I'll send that email to you. But right now it's on the KBA website and it's the same information from last year. Yeah, just want to make sure that's on your calendar.
Thank you.
Any questions on the community and or the board online or in person? Seeing and hearing none. Thank you so much, HFD, and have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is HPD, I believe, Lieutenant, either Lieutenant or Sergeant Kato. I think Sergeant Kato will be presenting.
Hi, hello, it's Sergeant Kato. Yes. So for last month, May, we had aggravated assaults, which is the felony, 1 compared to 2. Auto thefts was 5 compared to 6 for April. Burglary was 1, which was down from 3. Robberies was 0. 6 assaults was 0. Simple assaults were 1. Thefts were 3, and UEMVs, which is car break-ins, was 2. And that includes thefts. Thefts is like pickpocket, purse snatching, thefts from the bicycles or bicycle buildings or coin machines. But pending your questions, that's all. Let me go into the felony assault real quick. So that was on the 13th of May, and basically that was a family domestic argument that turned violent with this the son stabbing the boyfriend, the mother's boyfriend, and he eventually got himself arrested because he started to attack the EMS and the HFD folks that were trying to help him when they arrived on scene. But yeah, that's yeah, that's the only felony that basically happened in May, the big one. So pending your questions, that concludes my brief.
Any questions from the board online or in person? Oh, I do see Mr. Sung as well as, okay, we'll go Mr. Sung first.
Just checking, Coffee with the Cop is still June 12th, right? At McDonald's on School Street.
Let me check that real quick. Let's see.
Yes, that one. Sorry, this is Lieutenant Yamashita over here. This Coffee with a Cup is going to be held Friday, June 12th, Starbucks, Kamehameha Shopping Center. It's located at 1620 North School Street, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So Friday, June 12th, Kamehameha Shopping Center, Starbucks. Sorry, Chair. I think you're muted, Chair.
Okay, I was asking if Mr. Sung had any other questions, sorry. And if not, we can move on to Mr. Ropati.
Yeah, just to kind of follow up on that. So the coffee with a cup, what's the purpose of that?
So the Coffee with the Cup is just to integrate any of the concerns that the community has. It's a chance for anyone to come in and just kind of talk story with the officers that are there volunteering their time and wanting to meet the community. So you can just ask them any questions offline that you don't feel comfortable asking in a, over 911 or a setting, and or you could just meet them, see who's working in your district.
Do you guys have a flyer for that?
Yeah, we do have a flyer. I believe it's posted on our website, the HPD website, and it's also disseminated on a couple of the radio broadcasts too as well. But
the
I've
Starbucks.
never seen it. I've never seen it on TV or anything though.
Yeah, it's just
Um,
basically an opportunity to build relationships and talk story with the police officers. If you guys have an opportunity to come out, that's what the coffee with a cop is.
Oh, thanks to Mr. Soon. I did not hear about that, so I think the community would love to hear about that. And so, anywhere we can advertise that. He did have a follow-up question, Mr. Soon, about is there any major that's going to be attending the Coffee with a Cup, or the new major that's going to be attending the Coffee with a Cup?
Yeah, I'm not sure at this time if he's going to be attending. Usually a commander will be there though. I'm not sure which one will be there.
Okay, and then the question that I had was, I know I keep mentioning about the speed, and everyone that I talk to in the valley talks about the speed in the valley, and so I'm not sure who we can speak to as far as doing surveys about the speed, because I believe last week there was a major accident by Monte Street and Kalihi Street. Is that correct? Are you guys aware of that?
During what time was that?
This was last week, and so the Hawaiian Electric Company had to come in because I guess
Yeah, but
they had,
during what time of the day was that?
it was during the day,
Was
sir,
it
and I don't
overnight?
know. It was,
Oh,
sir,
okay.
if you could let me, it was during the day because I was catching the bus to go home, and so they were doing
Okay.
work on it. But the neighbors in the area talked about how speed was a factor and that the car flipped. So you must have heard about it if the car flipped.
Actually, if it happened during the daytime, and if I was off or if my sergeant was off, possibly not. I don't recall hearing anything relayed over to us from day watch being a vehicle overturning on Kalihi Street. But
Wow.
do you, if you happen to give us the actual date, I can actually look it up.
Yeah, it was last week. I can't give you the date, but I would figure that it's a big incident that you guys will all hear about it, but it seems like you guys are not hearing about it or maybe communicating with each other. That's kind of hard because those are the concerns of the residents in the area, and a lot of them bring up the speed in Kalihi on Kalihi Street heading up. And it's not just one area, it's multiple areas where I talk to the neighbors to talk about what is the concern that you want me to bring up. And most of them say speed. We need to reduce the speed in Kalihi Valley. So I'm not sure because this is like the sixth or seventh time I brought this up, and we haven't seen anything. So I don't know how else we can talk about or bring about these concerns from the neighbors. Maybe someone has to get hurt in order for us to move to work on this. But you know, that's just one incident on multiple resident incident that they brought up, and I said you need to report that or bring it up because that way the neighborhood board or the representatives that attend this meeting will actually hear you. We cannot not just say nothing. And one of the residents who I just got off the phone before I walked into this meeting mentioned that an officer said, well, that's not their issue. That's not their problem. There's other ways you can talk about that. And I don't know what to respond to that that neighbor. And so I just want to understand, like, what else can we do, or who do we see as well as our representatives that we have here? Who can we address these concerns as far as the speed in Kalihi Valley? And I know I talked about speed bumps.
Hey, sir, yeah, just to chime in on that one, I think if that was the flip car that was on the 5th of, if you're talking about this month, 5th of June, just last week, right? You said?
Yes. Okay. Then
Okay, so
that's the one. Then.
that one was 45 minutes after the 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 one that was happened at Fort Shafter exit where there was two criticals and I believe one or two passed away. So everyone was on that accident because that happened about 4 o'clock p.m. And then shortly after that, that other accident happened.
Sure, no problem. I'm not trying to make like this is better than the other accident. I just want to know how can we address the speed and the concerns from the neighbors. Thank you.
Is there any Did you guys get to just so happen to get the officer's name that the resident or the neighbors were complaining about, saying that kind of was dismissive about the speed regarding that area?
Yeah, so every time I ask
Or
a neighbor about that, they don't know to get the name of the officer. They don't know to get the badge name. So I keep educating them about this is how you should be doing things so we can actually report it and that there's a record of the individual.
so
So I'll get that
sorry
the
to
next
interrupt,
time.
but so you can also let them know that if they do have concerns regarding that and they don't feel satisfied with what the officers are answering, they can always come to the Kalihi police station and speak to a watch commander regarding that type of concern. We don't just dismiss speeding on Kalihi Street. I've actually gone out there myself and shot laser up there. It does look a lot faster than the vehicles are actually traveling, because while up there when my officers are shooting laser, or even myself, we hardly get any people speeding up there. It looks a lot faster. Like when we're shooting, it looks like they're coming fast, but it's actually within the speed limit or just above. But if they're not satisfied with how the officers responded and they want to take their concerns a little further, they're always encouraged to come to the Kalihi police station and speak to a watch commander or a supervisor.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I do see Mr. Rojas's hand online. Mr. Rojas.
Yes, one thing I wanted to report, this is for the neighborhood board security watch. There's um some concerns about it's between the it's well eventually it's more homeless are kind of like encamping underneath the bridge right before right after the board of water supply on Kali Street, and there's a bridge there which is I think it's Nalani Eha area. um there's the people are kind of being unsafe now with that because there's a lot of other unknown, um like you see newer homeless going into that corner property and then going into the bridge. Is there any report? But I guess some people are kind of scared of reporting it, so I wanted to mention it. It's part of my watch as well, officer.
Yeah, okay, so I got that down, and we can start trying to make checks on that starting from tonight for the homelessness.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is there any questions from the board or the community online or in person? Is there someone online? Sorry, Mr. Apati.
Community.
Community. Okay. If you'd like to go up to the mic and you can say your first and last name for the record, please, and thank you.
My name is Faatea Faatea. I don't know if I should ask this question, but I'm just curious. To the police department, what are they doing to getting enough workers, enough policemen to provide a safety community? Because about a year ago, you were short 400. Just about 2 weeks ago, I was told you're now short 500. And I just heard the question, had one incident there, one incident here. And if you're short staff, how safe is the community? So my question, what is the department? You guys just got a new chief. But are we getting new people to feel the safety of the community? My question. Thank you.
Yeah, as far as I understand, the recruiting process is doing pretty is better, and they're constantly trying to fill the academy, the different classes. So yes, they're always on always trying to recruit and get new new recruits in with different programs. And also on the other end, which is retention, they're also working on that as well. So the officers that are ready to retire at the 25-year and up, they're spending some effort to retain those officers as well to lower that amount of people that we need to actually recruit on the front end.
Thank you for that question, Fatel. I think that's a obstacle that the entire nation is facing right now as far as law enforcement. as far as numbers go. And our recruiting team has been increasing the number of individuals that they've been recruiting, and the recruit classes are getting larger. It's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, but we are trying our best. If you guys have any friends, family members, or anybody that you guys feel that possibly might want to join, we encourage everybody. You just have to take the test and go through the screening process. But it's a problem, or it's an obstacle that the entire nation is facing, and we're trying our best to recruit as many as we candidates as we can at this time.
Thank you. Are there any other
He
questions?
has a
Oh,
follow-up
sorry.
question.
Follow up.
Oh, okay. Fatih has a follow-up question.
This issue is it's beginning to be a lifetime situation. The shortage of policemen has started way beyond 10 years. So if you're saying you're trying to retain, then I'm sure there's going to be a whole lot more retiring from the department. So what can we reassure that the safety of the public will be upheld? Because the budget when the mayor gets approved every year. So I'm assuming you guys have the funding for these particular positions. It doesn't take us, a person with a doctor's degree to realize that people are going to retire. The problem is, what are we doing to assure that we do have officers coming in, whether either we pay them what they deserve or something of that nature? Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, was that a question? Yeah, so I don't think they answered his question.
Yeah, sorry, it sounded more like a statement. The question, could you kind of rephrase that one?
The question is, what are you guys doing as far as recruiting? If you're saying that you're trying to hold back officers from retiring, how can we do that if we don't? And I can't see how you can do that by offering either these people more money to stay on. And we
Yeah,
still
so-
don't have. We
so
have
there's a lot of
continued from 3, we're on to 500 shortage. So does any of you guys, the police department, are looking into finding ways that you can assure that the public safety is upheld?
Yeah, so there's numerous ways that they're doing it. One of which I can mention now is that they got a program for, it's called the Leap, I think. So the kids in college and even in high school, they're introduced to law enforcement and the program. And if interested, they actually can spend time working within the different departments and the different districts to get familiarized with the police and everything about being a police officer. And at that young age, they can then go and transition right into college and graduate and go into the police academy. So that's just one aspect of the different things that the administration is doing to recruit heavily within the community.
Wait, I have a,
Thank you. Oh, Mr. Sung, you have a question?
so this June 22nd, there is a exam prep for the HPD. So that's the first thing that's coming up to get more recruitment. There is the high school program. It's called the Explorer program for high school, and I do believe it's intermediate too, for them to participate. And then after they finish that, then they can, if they wanted to, become a cop cadet. And then when they turn 21, they could actually become a police officer. But if you know anyone in the community that's looking for a job, they are hiring, and the exam is the 22nd of Friday. Wait, is that Monday? So, let your friends, family, community members all know.
Thank you. Are there other questions though from the board or the community online or in person? Seeing and hearing none, well, I do thank you, HFD, and have a good Oh, HPD. So sorry, HPD. And have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you. And up
Thank you.
next, thank you. Up next is Board of Water Supply. Is Iris Oda online or in person? Believe
I'm here.
she's in person. Oh,
I'm
hello.
here in person. I'm here in person and I'm missing you.
No, sorry, I'm
I
sick.
finally made it. I don't know how to
Didn't
move
want to get
this.
anyone sick.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, do I just push it up? Okay. Well, I can still talk this way. So I'm Iris Oda from the Board of Water Supply. I report on main breaks from the previous month. So there was 2 in May. On May 19th, near 327 Idaho Street, and on 5/14, May 14th, near 2861 Numana Road. So sorry about the 2 breaks. And my one general water announcement. So we have our semi-annual water quality report. So every year we conduct thousands of tests on the water sources throughout our distribution system to ensure that our municipal water exceeds all federal and state regulations, federal and state safe drinking water standards. So testing results are shared with customers via this semi-annual water quality reports. So the first one should be mailed to all customers by July 1st, and the second one will be in December. So start looking in your mail for that. So you can also get your report online at the boardofwatersupply.com/WQR, Water Quality Report. So you can find additional information there, including we have a new large print booklet that describes the origin of your water and the substances that are listed in the report. So, and then also call 808-748-5041 for more information. So that was just a short general announcement. If there's any questions.
Any questions from the board online or in person? Any from the community online or in person? Oh, okay, Mr. Ropati or Mr. Liwa.
Hi, yes. I had a question from or concern from one of the residents that lives in Kalihi Way, which is near the Iglesia Ni Cristo. The corner street of Holua Way and Valley View Drive. They're not sure why the water keeps leaking over there. I don't know if they're doing a search on that pipe that keeps leaking water in that area, right in that corner. So I'm not sure if anyone can take a look at that. It's been quite a few months, she said, it's been like that. And so no one has actually take a look at that. So they just had that concern in that corner. That's all I had to bring up.
Oh, okay, thank you. I just want to make sure Holua Way and Valley View Drive.
Yeah.
Holua Way, and it's been leaking for months. Okay, I'll pass that on to see if we can do some research on that and go out and look at it. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. And I do see Mr. Rojas just raised his hand. Mr. Rojas?
Miss Iris, there was a, I think it's a, I don't know if that's Board of Water Supply on School Street, next to Kalihi Valley, KKV. Could you kind of give us a brief on that?
Okay, I'm not sure what you're
School
asking.
Street,
School Street and
yeah, what's going on over there? Is there a repair? Was there a break? School
Is it
Street
cur-
next to Kalihi Valley Comp Center.
comm center. Is it ongoing right now
it's right up-
or
It was ongoing for the whole week.
just this whole week? Okay, I'm gonna have to ask about that because I'm given reports from the previous month of repair work. So it's School Street and would you have KKV Community Center?
Yeah, I think it's right. What street is it? It's on School Street. Little bit
It's a long
right across the Aloha gas station.
gas station. Okay, I'll try to look that one up. Yeah, sorry, it's a really long street, so I gotta figure
Yeah,
out the
School
cross
Street, and
street.
it's on it's right next. It's on the sidewalk of Kalihi Valley Comprehensive Center.
And a comprehensive center. Okay, I'll try to look. And you saw the Board of Water Supply trucks working on it?
Yeah, for the past week. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I don't work in that department, so I don't hear firsthand on stuff like that.
Okay.
So in that division, I mean, excuse me. But okay, I'll ask about it.
Sorry, I have one more. Sorry, it just popped up. A small question, real quick.
Was that Mr. Liwa? Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Okay. So I'm not sure if this is true or this is what our pastor has told us because we've done car wash on our property before. Now they're saying that there's a violation if you do car wash on your property and it goes onto the street.
That would be a different department for the discharge of water, stormwater, car wash water. But I'll ask about that. I
Okay,
just
thank you.
don't know what department, if there is a violation from that. Okay.
Thank you. Other questions though from the board or community online or in person? Mr.
I just had a comment. Irish, the cross street on Spruce Street is Ahonui, AHONUI. Yeah,
AHNUI.
Yeah, the road was blocked off during the time that they was doing the repair. Yeah, I was driving on a road when we had to detour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's the answer for Mr. Rojas' question.
Yep.
Cross street, not the answer, but thank you for that update, for that info. That'll help. Okay.
Everyone, is there other questions though from the community or other board members online or in person? Seeing and hearing none. Thank you so much, Iris, and have a good evening.
Thank you. You take care of yourself too. Thanks.
Thank you. And then up next, double check. Up next is okay, so now we're on residents and community concerns, 3 minutes each. Are there any residents or community concerns at this time, online or in person? Mr. Liwa?
Yeah, so this is another question from the same resident that lived in that area that I talked about, but she lives on Kalihi Way, and so her concern was the grassy area that's across of her property, which is between Likelike Highway and Kalihi Way. Because the grass is overgrown and they're not sure who's supposed to maintain or cut the grass in that area. The concern is because sometimes there's people hiding in those grassy areas. They don't know who, maybe at night, or sometimes now it's the cats or whatever rodents that they have in the area now affecting their trash. And so they just want to bring that up. Who is responsible for that grassy area in between Kuahibi Way and Likelike Highway, which is across that building that's across Iglesia Ni Cristo on the highway area? Is that state, city, or federal? What is it? Hmm?
Do you see Kathy's hand? Yes.
Hi, it's Kathy from Senator Kim's office. So what we usually do in those instances is we'll run a check through the real property search to see whether it's city, state, or private. If you can email me, and then I can go ahead and take a look in the office, and then I'll follow up.
Thank you. Yes, because they did bring that up multiple times and they've gotten nowhere. And so I said, well, we have a meeting tomorrow and we're going to bring it up. And
Mhm.
hopefully that can be addressed. So I will send you the area so that way they can get their answers to that. But they
Oh,
also
okay.
have a follow-up question, but it's not
Mhm.
regarding that. But I think it might be in the Santos report. So I'll ask it during that time. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And I think someone else on the board had their hand up. Was it Mr. Kumalai? Okay.
Yeah, I think I can bring this up at community concerns. The parking availability this afternoon before the neighborhood board meeting started. This was a concern, and one of the reasons why we moved down to Kapalamahale is at the same time that we having our meeting scheduled, do we have sports events going on and other users of the parking lot. There's no space. So we need to address the parking issue again, or we might have to decide to find another place to meet. Yeah,
concur. It took me like 20 minutes to find any parking.
Thank you. And is there other questions or online or in person or community concerns online or in person? Camera's not facing the audience, so I do see Mr. Rojas just raise his hand.
Yeah, I don't know if I should bring it up to this under this section residents concern. It's or maybe I should bring it up to the city side. I'm not too sure, but it's about a big overgrown tree on a sidewalk on a street. It's eventually it's on my street, and my neighbor kind of asked me, "Is like, is there anyone that can help me cut this tree? It's overgrown. It's really big, and hurricane season is coming. We don't know what can happen. It can that big tree can just come on to the next. It's really close to each other. It's right on the sidewalk. So that's one. And um, yeah, I just wasn't sure if I should bring it out on this section or bring it out to the city side.
Has her hand up so she could answer that as well. Looks like.
Okay, hi, thanks. Kathy from Senator Kim's office. So s- we Mr. Rojas, do you know if do they know who's the property owner for the tree, or is that a thing that has to be looked up as well?
It's on the sidewalk. And yeah, it's on the sidewalk.
Okay. So Senator Kim's community report, which was going to be brought up later when Senator Kim joins the meeting, we did have an issue where talking about that, about city trees. And so one of the things is that one of the ways to help is that going by the city's 311 app, the Division of Urban Forestry, if it's a city tree, so any private entity or person cannot cut down the tree or alter it. And so the Division of Urban Forestry would be the one that goes and does an inspection, and they will go ahead and do remediation, whether it's removal or treating the tree.
It's
So
I think it's not a city tree. It came up and then I told them to cut it before because I know about some trees, but the thing is, it's just overly grown, over 10 years. So
okay. Is this
now
the one that was previously brought up in the meetings before that Councilmember Dos Santos Tam's office was working on?
it's right next. No, it's on the other street. It's on Violet Street. It's on my street, Worker Street.
On your street. Okay.
Yeah.
So how about this then? What I can do is I can, since I'm gonna look up if board member Liwa is gonna send that address, then I can check the address for this tree as well, and we can find out about the ownership. How's that? Would you be able to email that over to me?
Yes. I will.
Okay, I'm gonna put the Senator Kim's email in the chat, and then I'll put my email, and so you can forward it there. Okay.
Chair, there's one more.
Oh, you have another question? Yep, go on.
No, it's
Or-
a residence concern. It's community concern. So,
Okay.
another problem we've been having here is, of course, the parking, and also the point is that because too many people, there's like renters around Kalihi, and what happened is some of them does not live in this island. They just rent them out, and then it's being rented out to a lot of people. Majority, and sometimes it's over the capacity of people who's staying there. They got too many cars, so they don't. They just park all over the place, and also it's just it's a mess. So I don't know if I should bring this out on the city side, on the with the city council, or this is the best time to bring it up. But I brought it out anyway, just to cover it. I think you're on mute. Sorry. Hello.
I could hear you. I don't know if anyone had a response to that. But these are residents and community concerns. Um, I don't know if anyone had a response to that, but um,
No.
no. Okay. If
Should we bring it up again on the state on the city side when the mayor comes, or on the council, city council?
if you'd like to address it to them directly, yeah, we
Yeah.
can try that. Or At least to see, even legislators, right? If there's any legislation regarding that, that's what I'm thinking. But if there are no other community concerns, though, at this time, we can move on, though, to the presentations section. First one is Exceptional Tree Program, the Mayor's Arborist Advisory Committee. Is anyone online or in person for that presentation?
Yes,
Oh,
I am
oh,
online.
hi, it's Emily.
Yes.
Hi, Emily.
Yeah, I will try and share my screen. Oh, perfect. But yeah, hi everyone. My name is Emily Perry. Thank you so much for being able to have the opportunity to share a little bit more about the Exceptional Tree Program. Let me make sure. Let's see. Can you see my screen okay? Yes. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so I just wanted to share about this program and talk a little bit about you know being a tree, why trees are great, and the opportunities that there are to actually make your tree exceptional and what that can mean for the homeowner. So I'll just go over the program interview, the criteria that makes a tree quote unquote exceptional, um, the management. So I heard actually you folks talking about tree trimming and stuff like that. So we'll talk about that in relation to these exceptional trees. And then I'll just show a map of Oahu that demonstrates where some of the trees are, and we'll go from there. But the definition of an exceptional tree is a tree that is protected by city and county ordinance intended to preserve and celebrate our community forest. So in 1975, the Exceptional Tree Act was created to designate trees as exceptional, to protect them from improper pruning and removal due to excessive development. And so owners of these trees are actually eligible for a $3,000 tax deduction for tree trimming services every 3 years. And that's an incentive just to recognize that when you do have a tree on your property, there are often costs that are associated with trimming the trees. And so recognizing and giving a tax deduction for that. The way that the program works is that the Mayor's Arborist Advisory Committee will review and approve the tree nominations. And that's composed of, I think, around 9 different members that are experts in their fields related to trees, arboriculture, sustainability, environment. Since this is the Exceptional Tree Act from 1975 was a statewide act, there are 1,400 exceptional trees across Hawaii. But there are many trees that are aging out. Trees have life cycles as well. And so some of the trees are pretty old. And so as they age out and die, we want to have new trees that are able to replace those ones. And you can see on the right-hand side a picture of the Willy Willy tree at Cocoa Crater Botanical Garden. So what makes an exceptional tree exceptional? Based on the state acts, it's based on historic or cultural value, the age, if it's a certain number of years, if it's kind of tying into the historical aspect, if it's considered a rare species of trees, if the location makes it something that is notable, the size, if it's a large tree in the area, aesthetic quality, if it adds a lot of value because of the beauty of it and the way that it looks to the community in the area, as well as the endemic status of the tree. So endemic status, trees that are only native to Hawaii. So there is this QR code if you folks are interested in learning more about the program and the nomination criteria as well. And just a note that it just has to be one of these bullet points listed, not all of them. So you could nominate a tree that just is considered to be aesthetically pleasing, and then the committee will review that. And then nomination forms are on that QR code. And then once the nomination form is completed, it can be emailed to the Division of Forestry at duf@honolulu.gov or mailed to 3902 Pocky Ave. So touching a little bit more on the management of exceptional trees, because they are protected, the pruning and tree care must be completed by a qualified arborist. And so there is a list that can be obtained to figure out who the qualified arborist is. And that's just to ensure that these trees are getting the best care possible. I'm sure we've seen some trees that are kind of, all hacked on the top, and that's not good for the health of the tree, and also long term can cause some problems in safety as well. And then the Division of Urban Forestry also is the one who reviews these pruning applications. The tree is only permitted to be removed if it is determined by DUF as to pose immediate risk to public safety. But of course, if it is a safety issue, then it will be approved to be removed. And the exceptional trees are protected regardless of the property owner. So that means if the tree is, or sorry, if the house or the property is sold, the exceptional tree status will still carry on with the property. So it's in perpetuity. So I just wanted to share the map where you can see, this is from the Outdoor Circle. So if you wanted to look on their website as well, it's an interactive map and you can zoom into specific areas and see where the trees are, the species. I think you can even see the size of the tree and any other notable characteristics of the tree. But you can see that, there's some hot spots where there are a lot of ETs, and then gaps where there aren't so many exceptional trees. And so that's why we wanted to reach out to your neighborhood board, and we're trying to reach out to other neighborhood boards as well to try and fill some of those gaps and see if you folks know of any trees that you think would be exceptional and want to protect. And so I just took a screenshot of the map from the Outdoor Circle. So you could see there is, in this kind of lower right-hand side, there are some trees in this area, kind of along the Pali, but along Like and Kalihi Valley, there aren't any trees within the neighborhood board Kalihi Valley area. So yeah, if you folks, again, know of any trees, we would be happy to take a look at the nominations, see some pictures of the trees, and then maybe come out and take a look at the tree. So that's just a general overview. If you have any questions, I'm happy to try and answer them. And again, I just want to thank you for giving me a few minutes to talk about this program and yeah, just really celebrate trees and why they're important to our communities.
Thank you, Emily. Are there any questions online or in person from the board? I do see, is that Mr. Sung?
How do we send nominations for this program?
Yes, so let me go back. So this QR code, I can also drop it in the chat if that might be helpful, or I can also email Chair the link and the form as well. So I can send the form to Chair, and then it's PDF. I think it's only like 2 pages, and it just basically asks some basic information about the tree, and then asks you to submit some pictures and a map and why you want to nominate the tree. And then it can be emailed or mailed hard copy to Division of Urban Forestry. And then their email and address is listed on this page.
Right.
I think I sent the presentation, but if not, I can also send it again so that you folks have.
Yeah, I'm looking for the presentation. I'm making sure it's in the Google Drive. The other questions though, online or in person, I can also send in the chat too if that helps anyone online. But so far, I'm not seeing any
Yeah,
questions
no
online or in
question.
person. Oh, sorry, who was that?
No, I said no questions. We can move on to the next.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Mr. Liwa. But yeah, if there's no questions, I do thank you, Emily, and have a good evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Up next, we have another presentation with the if they're online or in person, this should be Evan Mokwahi Hayes for the Hawaii Hazards Awareness and Resilience Program. Is he in person? Oh, hello.
Hello.
Aloha.
I guess you can introduce yourself while they're trying to get that ready.
So,
Oh,
aloha,
okay.
kako. My name is Evan Mokwahi, and I am a representative of Haima. I'm a part of the community outreach branch, and I lead a program called HARP, which we will talk about tonight. No, you sound good.
What?
I just reset it.
Oh, no, he got it. We just resent it,
Okay,
because I got it.
okay.
Chair, do you have the presentation?
Sent it to her too. Or maybe you could send it directly to, Evan, maybe you could send it directly to him.
Sure.
Chair, before we have our presenter come back on, I just have a before you move on to city elected officials, I forgot to bring
Yes.
this up at the in the residents and community concern. I forgot one more that I wanted to present to the board, if that's okay, or should I bring it at the end?
Um, would it happen to be a concern that can be given to one of the city or state representatives by any chance, or is it just a general one you're not sure who
It's
can address? Yeah.
you know I can bring it up during the yeah representative because it's actually a general statement, but
Oh,
I guess they have the presentation.
yeah, we're on the presentation side. And Anson, are we able to address the community concerns, maybe,
Oh,
or
we can just continue on and then just come back to it if you want.
continue on and come back to the the presentation? Is that correct?
Oh, I
Or
got it. Never mind.
oh, okay, okay.
You found it.
Perfect. Okay, we go next. Okay, next. One more. One more. Okay. Oh, aloha, mai kako. So again, my name is Evan Mokwahi, and I am from the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency, representing my program, which is the Hawaii Hazards Awareness and Resilience Program, also known as HHARP. So we'll talk a little bit about this, but first, the 4 pillars that HHARP touches and really that centers the agency is these 4 pillars. So mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. So my program touches on every single aspect of these issues, right? But the first one is preparedness, right? So what we're seeing is from the Kona lows, if you think about every other storm that we've had, a lot of people say, where is the government? The government sees and the government is coming. What we want to do is educate the community that the community is always going to be the first responder. There's too much, right? We don't have the bandwidth. So as we prepare communities, we know that they will respond faster, and that response will turn into a faster recovery, and faster recovery then turns into mitigation, right? We find that now that we're in Kona lows, and then we go on and on. Next slide. Next slide. Oh, okay. Okay, so what is HHARP? Again, this is the main thing, right? HHARP is a community-led effort that is state and county supported. This isn't the government telling you, you guys are going to do X, Y, and Z. This is the government supporting the community in identifying your hazards, right? Understanding your hazards and helping to build a community leadership team. Helps to prepare households, identify the risks, identify the vulnerabilities, and from that, we go into developing community emergency action plans. And so each module builds on each other. And then after that, what happens? Well, that's when we can take communities and we can go into tabletops, workshops, drills. We can help communities stand up, get stronger, because we know largely that everybody who is volunteering, right? Everyone's got different jobs. You work as teachers or firefighters or policemen. People aren't, hey, I want to be an emergency manager. We don't need you to be an emergency manager. We want you to feel equipped, supported, and help build on the knowledge that we can build with them. Okay. Slide. Okay, so these are things that we know that we encounter in Hawaii. Tsunami. Who got the alert that we had an earthquake in Hawaii Island last night, right? So we've got tsunamis, hurricanes, tropical storms. We are in a super El Nino season, right? Flooding, earthquakes, volcanic hazards, and wildfires. These are all the hazards that we work with communities on. I'm working in Makaha right now, and right, so they're very focused on tsunami. They're very focused on wildfires. I know in Kalihi Valley, might not be worried about tsunami, but wildfire, right? We have a big, beautiful green mountain all everywhere. Lots of, kindling for this El Nino that we've got going on. So we help to identify on those issues and we'll work there. Right? So I really want to focus on this number 12%. So 12% right now is the number of households that are prepared across the Pai'aina. That if we got hit with something big enough statewide and our port shut down, 12% of our residents across the Pai'aina are prepared. So just ask yourself, am I prepared? Am I 2 weeks prepared? Am I 3 weeks prepared? For me personally, I want to see this number go up. 12%, 15%, 20%, to where we can take resilience and not make it a buzzword, right? We want it to be at the forefront of our thoughts. Okay, next slide. Okay, so these are the modules within HHARP. So it goes off of 6 modules, getting started, where we build a community leadership team, hazard awareness, personal preparedness, risk assessment. That's when we look at the hazards that are facing our area. Also, that's when we can bring in people from our team at HIEMA to help navigate writing this plan out. Each module has worksheets, kind of like homework that you know that the community would turn in, and then all of these worksheets build on each other to get to our community emergency action plan, which is module 5, to where Kalihi Valley will have a community emergency action plan as they've worked through these modules, and then we can, you know, when something happens in Gray Skies, us at Haima have a picture of it. For the first time at Haima, under the leadership of my administrator, James Barros, community outreach has a seat at the EOC, right? So I'm on the line with our communities that are still going through the process of HARP, and I'm getting real-time information that I can relay to my bosses, and so everyone has eyes on it. So you know, he's quite a visionary, and he's been able to bring that into the mix because we know community again is the first responder all the time. Yeah, that's just slide. So just some things about what makes HARP different. I know we have CERT, you know, we have all these programs, but HARP builds systems, right? We don't just build awareness. We help to build actual tangible systems. Okay, it's community-driven leadership. Again, we are, you know, cross-sector participation with nonprofits, for-profits, county, you know, us at the state, documented planning and milestones as we go through the modules. Validation and recognition is a big thing for communities to say, hey, we've gone through this process and the state recognizes it. We see you, we have eyes on you. We want to help you get stronger and get better. And then building out this long-term stability, right? It's not enough to say, hey, we did it one time. Okay, Paul now. No, we're going to partner with communities to continue building this out. Slide. Right, so some things that we know about resilient communities, going back to those 4 pillars, right? So we know that in response, they can adapt, they can survive, they thrive in adversity because they're prepared, right? We get stuck when we don't know what we're doing and we panic. The communities assess the community's vulnerability. They've strengthened the capacity to cope, and they have plans to respond to, right? When a disaster happens, the community knows. The community activates. I don't call the community and say, activate your plan. The community, the team, they come together. They say, hey, this is happening. And I just call and say, how are you guys doing? And we all are communicating. Okay, next slide. So it's the last slide. So we know that disasters are increasing in frequency. In my life, I can't remember a time where there's this much activity and action in the Pacific, right? We're definitely living in some unprecedented times. We know that the cost is going up for these, right? We know that when we aren't prepared, right? 2 weeks prepared, what happens? What happened during COVID, right? What happened during the tsunami, right? People were driving their cars, people were leaving their cars on the freeway, panicking. People, right, were buying up everything. And so we know that communities need structure. We know that they need preparation and sustained capability. That's what HARP does for communities. And thank you for Jay for connecting. Me and Jay had a great time at the Vibrant Hawaii Summit where we got to speak on this at a larger scale. And you know, specifically for Kalihi Valley, I just want to say, right, you know, this is such an important community. I mean, Kalihi Valley, you know, we have the ports here, you know, and so if our ports go down, this is where the impact is going to be felt immediately. So it's my belief that we need a strong presence here in Kalihi Valley to connect with our NGOs, connect with our for-profits, to connect the community, to get into this program, to start identifying leadership, to start identifying the hazards, to start spreading the word. And, you know, it's something that I really take this program to heart. And so when we talk about personal preparedness, my colleague has done an amazing job in creating these workbooks, right? And so our kupuna, people in the community can see, hey, do I have a plan for my pet? Do I have my medicine that I need in case we are shut off? And things like that. So thank you guys for having me. Truly an honor. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Are there other questions from the board, online or in person?
I do. James
Okay,
does.
Mr. Sung.
So Evan, here's my module one. There's 4 of them.
Terrific.
I'll let you take a look at that. You can leave at that, see how it is.
Absolutely.
I emailed everyone on the board this all modules and what was happening at the summit this past weekend. I also have HNL alert cards. So if you haven't signed up for HNL, please sign up for it. It gives you alerts from Florida Water Supply, HPD, a bunch of other entities that will help you out, keep you informed. And then from the city and county side, there are flyers. I'll see if I get more from Michael, but evacuation go bags and 14 days supply kits. So what you're going to need for that. We are starting up a hub here in Kalihi. Please help me out in writing this plan. So you will get credit for creating this plan. We're reaching out to all different entities, and hopefully Evan helps connect me because I don't know everybody.
Absolutely. Yep. You know, I do want to just say, right, for everyone just to think about this, right, in the quiet of your own mind, right? Am I 2 weeks prepared? Is my family 2 weeks prepared? Do I have enough food at home to sustain my family? It's not a if, right? Unfortunately, it's just a matter of when. When are we going to see something catastrophic at a state level? We've been very blessed and fortunate, and I don't want to be Dr. Doom, but the reality is that we're living in times where you know we see the ocean temperatures are rising, and that grace that we had around our islands are dissipating during this El Nino season. So ask yourself, and if the answer is I'm not ready, please get ready. If you cannot get 2 weeks ready, get 1 week ready and build off of that. But really though, please join James in this effort to create resilience throughout your Ahupua'a. And I look forward to working with you guys.
Thank you. And I do see Mr. Rojas online has his hand up as well.
Yes, sir. I have a question for you. Is this was established by the state or the city and county? And
This
also,
is a
yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Sorry.
You're not good.
Okay, this was established by the state. This is HARP 2.0. Before Administrator Barrows came, there was no HARP program. So under his guidance, his tutelage, you know, he saw a need and he understood the fact that communities are going to be the first responders. So he brought HARP back through community outreach, which is now a branch of HAIMA.
Okay, my second, I have a small suggestion. You know, so some people, some other residents that cannot afford to, prepare themselves. Like for example, you need extra food, you need, like flashlight, you need batteries or so ever and stuff like that. Is there a place where they can reach out, like maybe, for food, for example, like maybe food bank can give them like canned foods or MREs that's being donated, and that way we can help those other people that or residents that not able to get themselves prepared. Do you have something like that in your program yet, sir?
Great question. To answer the first part, Hawaii Food Bank would be my first go-to. But I also am one spoke of the wheel when it comes to community outreach. So community outreach, there's many spokes. So we have BEOC with my colleague Gordon Pate, who works with the businesses. We have my po'o, John Vieira, who's working on the private side with the private businesses to bring aid when something happens. My colleague Malia Masoy works with the schools, and she also works with volunteer donation management. So she'd probably be the best one to speak to on that. And then finally, Julian Canizaro, my colleague, works with CERT as well as the volunteers. And so, yes, at Haima, we can help you get connected with those, with those needs for the residents who can't get those resources for themselves.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions from board or community online or in person?
I have a response for Mr. Rojas.
Oh, okay,
So
Mr.
I
Sun,
did
go on.
I did a tour at the pantry. They're a nonprofit on Rose Street, right down the street from us. They volunteered to be part of our hub. They distribute food, and we had the conversation with them today about when something like a natural disaster happens, how are they able to give and provide food for the people who do not have a 14-day go bag, right? So we're trying to develop their program because they only have four employees. So they're going to need the community to help and support their program to get the food out. And we're also looking at other places for shelters, unofficial shelters is what we're calling it. That's not under the governor, that we're able to shelter people. And a bunch of different other hubs style distribution points. So all this will be in our report when we finally give it to Evan here. But everything's in the beginning stages and we're still talking about it.
I see. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, one most important part is, do we have a shelter that's already ready if anything happens? Like, is there like a designated place where it's like it's ready to go? You know, like if anything happens, I think that would be a very most important part where we can go shelter ourselves and regroup if there's a disaster in Kalihi Valley or Kalihi Valley.
I will bring Michael. He's from the city and county. He is doing an inventory of all the hurricane shelters in our area, and he will. I'll make sure that he gives that report when he does it. I also plan on inviting the pantry to explain more on how they plan on working with us in the Kalihi area and the other places that are volunteering, the nonprofits.
So is it like a, so is it already ready if there's anything, or it's just kind of like, it's just a word saying, yeah, we do have a place to go, but eventually, you know, we still got to build up from there. So the point is being prepared, which is just the number one
Right.
pillar. So
Yep.
are we prepared a place where we can go anytime? Like, you know what I mean? I'm private military, so we need
Right.
yeah.
So to answer your question, this is what we are building, because it hasn't been built before. So when I say we want to have a cross-sector collaboration, it's because for this. So when something happens, the county has the lead, right? And so DEM is the first line of action. And then when they get exhausted, then it comes up to the state. And when the state cannot do anymore, then it gets kicked up to federal. So are there shelters here? Yes. Do I know which ones they are? I do not. But Michael Kern from DEM, he does. And that's when we, this is why we want to have our partners from all sectors of government, business, nonprofits, a part of our committee to build this out, to identify and then push this out to our community, if that helps.
Thank you. This is very detailed. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. And other questions from the board or the community online or in person?
Well, I think Fatia has a question first. Yeah.
Atea, okay. Atea, if you'd like to come. Oh, there.
I was going to hold my question till De Los Santos come up, but I'm going to say it. Your pillars has ones that you mitigate. How do you mitigate the frustration of the community who are looking for help from the government who built the roads in our community on Hoko Street? There's a walkway, there's a speed bump on the middle of Hoko Street, and there's a drainage right after that speed bump. When that drain is plugged, all the old houses along Hoko Street in the back of Damien High School get flooded. So how do you mitigate that frustration that they continue to have? But they've been trying to reach out to the government. And I told them I'll bring it up to this board. This is an advisory board. But your presentation has 4 pillars of what you do. How do we mitigate this frustration from the community of continuing to reach out to the city or the state and no action being taken? Please, and the action had to do with the street on Hoko. If you please take a check on it, in the middle of Hoko, there's a drainage that the community came in and cleaned it out, allowed the water to go by. But when it's not clean, it's flooding the houses. Thank you.
Mahalo Fa'atea for that question. And you know, I largely see that question asked in all of the communities that I work with. Wailua, right, with the streams. Waianae with the problems that they have. You know, and I wish I had a better answer for you. But what I can tell you, right, I don't want to lie to you. What I can tell you is that this is why it's so important, one, to understand, and this isn't government putting it onto the community to do the work. But when a disaster happens, the government will be so inundated and unable to, that as government, partnering with our communities, we want to identify those hazards. We want to identify the issue. And again, we want to bring our partners to the table so that we can address those things. You know, it's the first time I'm hearing about this issue, right? But as we build this out, as we do module 4, risk assessment, please, I invite you to come and be a part of this. When we build this out and we have county at the table, these are those, you know, the time to bring that up to see what can be done. I only work in helping communities build this plan out, and I'm committed to doing that. But I don't, you know, have an answer outside of to get involved, and as we work together as a whole, we can try to address that. You know, especially as we build out these plans, right? To have county at the table and our nonprofits right there at the table with the committee that is saying, hey, I'm a part of this community, and I'm taking the initiative to help my community. We bring them in, and you know, hopefully we can get some of that addressed to mitigate that, because that is the issue, and I see it currently right now with Wailua and other communities that I'm working with. So it's a large issue, right? That was built over many decades of time. So yeah.
Thank you. I do see Mr. Rojas just raised his hand. Your 5 minutes have been used, but I will give you at least
I'll make this.
1 minute to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you said
you
you
didn't
mentioned about
address
module.
me.
You mentioned about a module 4, so that seems like that's the to identify and then react and mitigate to the situation. So the reason why I brought this up is very important. You know, like as the climate change erosions on you know on the streams is getting wider, and because it's that we have to maintain and that's part of the, I guess, mitigation. We so yes, it's very important. So when is this module 4 going to begin?
Well, I would, you know, as we work on this, James has completed module 1, and so as I meet more of the team and we build this out together, you know, it can move as quickly as the community wants to move. You know, it's projected to be 6 to 10 months of building a community, you know, emergency action plan. Can that be condensed? Sure, but it's going to take the collaboration of our partners again, county again, you know, the community being able to know, right? This is the plan that we're doing, and to get involved also, right? So module 2 and module 3, very heavy community engagement. This isn't 8 people or 9 people or 10 people speaking for 15,000 people, right? This is the volunteers who are going house to house, door to door, and getting community involved. So to answer your question, you know, it's as quickly as the community is willing to move, but I'm there for the whole process.
Thank you. And then Mr.
The
Liwa.
reason why I brought this out is because
Sorry, because of time and Madam Chair, you did not address me right after Fatih. We
Also-
have 7. We also have 5 other on our agenda that needs to be addressed, and we are on a time limit here in this space. So I'm gonna ask if Simeon can email his questions, because we still need to get through the rest of our agenda.
Was that your
Yeah, the reason
what you wanted to say,
because
or sorry?
there wasn't no information as
Yes.
far as
Sorry,
like
Simeon.
connections and all that stuff. That's why I asked this question. It's very important because you know what, our stream is when we had that big storm, eventually there's a lot of erosion that caused damage to the houses next to the stream. And because we didn't do what we needed to be we didn't apply those pillars, preparedness, and then doing our checks and stuff like that, identifications. That's the cause right now. If you were to go through the our Kalihi Valley streams, big erosions. So it's very important what we gotta go through these modules. Thank you.
Simeon, just reach out to me and you could help and assist me working on this. I did email you the module, so you do have a copy of it.
Thank you. And we'll move on now to city elected officials. But I do thank you, Evan Mokwa, for joining in person. But up next is Mayor Rick Blangiardi's Representative Bandmaster Clark Bright.
Aloha, Chair. Thank you. Thank you, community members. Just a couple of quick announcements from Mayor. The first one is involving the Climate Change, Sustainability, and Resilience Department. They've released a draft of the first ever Oahu Food Systems Plan, a strategic implementation-focused action plan that defines the city's role in Oahu's food system over the next 5 years. It outlines 70 actions the city can take to improve how food is produced, distributed, accessed, and disposed of while supporting the health of our community, economy, and environment. If you would like to share your mana'o by June 30th, you may do that. Please visit the link in the chat. It's right there. You can go help yourself to visit that link. And the other one is Mayor's highlights for his newsletter. That newsletter is also in the chat. The link is in the chat, but it covers a few things. One is the federal aid deadline approaching. David Lazar named new Honolulu Police Chief. City initiatives reducing homelessness on Oahu. Ahui ho to former Managing Director Michael Formby. Expanding access to local food on Oahu, and the city offering innovative microloans to local small businesses. Again, that link is in the chat. Following up on some issues, there are a couple of issues that are still carrying over from the previous month meeting, and that's the DFM response to the tree issue, and also the Kamanaki stream cleaning issue. We are still awaiting a response from DFM on that. I just want to let you know. The next one involves the RPZ permit concern that was brought up at the last meeting. So the DTS did provide a lengthy explanation. I do want to go through it just so that we understand what they are saying. So the current reduced rate structure for the Kalihi Valley RPZ is as follows. Annual residential first permit is $62.50. Second permit is $125. Third permit is $187.50. The fourth permit is $250. So the annual visitor permit is $62.50, and a single day visitor permit is $10, up to 10 per month. So DTS also notes that only 8 participating households have elected to purchase 4 annual residential permits, not including annual visitor permit purchases. The average RPZ residential permit spend per participating household is $122.14 or $10.17 per month. As of May of this year, a total of 175 annual residential permits and 46 annual visitor permits had been purchased. With a total of 391 on-street spaces identified in the RPZ, these purchases account for 45% and 12% of available RPZ spaces, respectively. Together, these purchases represent 57% of available spaces. Available permits can be sold in the second half of calendar year 2026 at pro-related discounts. So DTS appreciates constituent feedback regarding the Kalihi Valley RPZ. More information can be found on the website. Any questions or comments can be emailed to rpz@honolulu.gov. The last issue to be addressed, there was a concern about ADA restroom accessibility at a park. I asked for your patience. This request involved a restroom at Mauna Lua Bay, but if you don't mind, I wouldn't I don't mind sharing what parks had to respond with, because it is important, I think, for all of us. So DPR recognizes the importance of providing accessible routes to restroom facilities and other park amenities for all users. Many park facilities were constructed prior to the adoption of current ADA standards. As repairs, renovations, and improvement projects are undertaken, DPR continues to evaluate opportunities to improve accessibility throughout the park system. And under Title II of ADA, when existing facilities or elements are altered, the city is required to ensure that the altered positions comply with current ADA standards for accessible design to the maximum extent feasible. So DPR will review existing conditions and assess potential accessibility improvements as part of its ongoing efforts to enhance park access for all users. Chair, thank you very, very much. That's my report. Open for questions or comments.
Thank you. Any questions from the board online in person? Say Mr. Liwap.
Hi, yes. Just the same question that I asked earlier about the land between Likelike Highway and Kuahibi Way. If you could check if that's under the city property. At the next meeting, you don't have to
Sure.
respond today. But also just a reminder about November 27, 2026, the KBA parade, to mark that in your calendar as well for the Kalihi Business
Yep.
Association Christmas Parade. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for that. We are booked for that one. And I do believe we will check on it, as well as Kathy Nii, to find out who is the who what property is that part of city or state. But thank you for that. Yeah.
I do see Mr. Oh, sorry, Senator, did you wanted to comment or?
Yeah, I have a question, Bright, for you.
Yeah.
On the RPZ, I've been asked by a number of residents live in the Wilson Track area.
Yeah.
What exactly, where does that money go when they, the 6250 and all of those dollars? What exactly does it pay for? Because they feel that there is not any enforcement. They don't see anybody enforcing, so they're paying for that. And the costs for the permitting and stuff really does not amount to that much money. So they would like to know, how are they accounting for those dollars and how do they arrive at the costs?
Thank you so much for that, Christian. We will send that on and relay it to the proper authorities and get back to you. Thank you very, very much.
Appreciate that, Clark. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions from the board or the community online or in person? I think Mr. Liwa or
Patel.
oh, Fatia. Okay. And I can call Rojas afterwards if that's okay.
I have a question for the mayor's representative concerning this particular park. I came in this morning to do a program with the kids, and I seen the volunteer workers sweeping bird manure on the floor of this particular park. If you could listen real good, kids are jumping over the fence to swim in the swimming pool. What's the status of this particular park as far as the boxing gym and everything else in this particular facility? And are we open to hiring proper staff to man this particular park? Is my question.
Thank you. Aloha, Fatia. Thank you for that question. I do recall that that was brought up in the past. Last month, we responded to that issue. I don't have the exact words for it. I don't want to say something wrong or paraphrase, but the park is being worked on. I believe there were money that was approved to start varying sections of improvement of it, so they are aware of it, and they are trying to work on that as soon as possible. They do understand how much work needs to be done. Some money has been approved, and they are trying their best to work on it as quick as they can.
The question is, when you say as quick as they can, does that mean next month, next year, or next decade?
That's another great question. I highly doubt that it would get done in a month, but I do know that their plan is to do it as soon as possible. But yeah, I understand, and I think they understand as well. They are working on it, and they are aware of it. But thank you for that. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. And I do see Mr. Ross has his hand up. Or did Ms. Fatia, you had a follow-up? Sorry.
Yeah, I have one question for you, Chair. I look at this agenda and you have police, fire, and board of water. We don't have Department of Education. We don't have Department of Park and Recreation. Are we only picking up report from Trouble Department? Why aren't we able to hear from this particular department what they're doing and how are they servicing our community? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, my understanding is that those are I can work with Anson Wu about those other departments if you'd like to have them report to our neighborhood board. But so far it's been those three that have been the main representatives to come. So I can reach out to those other ones as well. But Mr. Ross, you have
Yeah.
your hand up as well.
Yes, I did. Mr. Bright, I know this
Yeah.
situation has been a long period of time that it has been fixed. We have the neighborhood and the community is concerned about um, rent houses that is over capacitized in its use. For example, you have too much people in the house, and you have and then you're gonna have excess cars that it eventually blocks the road. It stressed out the community, and overall, pretty much, is there a way that we're trying to fix this situation, because it's been a problem here in the community? And then also, the biggest problem is that those homeowners who rent out these houses, that some of them don't live in the island, and it's not being maintained to its standard, and it's just out of standard to a point where it's affecting the neighbors and the community.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Rojas. I did hear you mention that earlier as well. I think if you could email us, email the chair, email somebody that you can contact to give us exact locations of that. I'm not sure what can be done. I don't personally know, but we can check on that for sure and get back to you. But thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. And if there are no more questions for Mayor Rick Lenardi's representative, then we can move on. And I do thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. You too. Thank you very much.
Up next is the Council Member Tyler Dos Santos Tam, Constituent Services Director Lynn Robinson. Is she online or in person? I don't see her online. So what we can do is what is it called? Table her, and then we can if she does show up later, we can have her talk. But we can move on actually to the new agenda we added, which is Office of Congressman Ed Case, Deputy Chief of Staff Keikoa Kaluhiva. Is he online or on person? Oh, you're in person.
In
Hello.
person. Aloha.
Hello.
Aloha, Chair Tumbaga and members of the board. Thank you for having me join tonight's agenda. My name is Keikoa Kaluhiva, and I serve as the District Director, Deputy Chief of Staff for the Office of Congressman Ed Case here in Honolulu. Quick backdrop, I'm a Kaneohe boy on the other side of Ko'olau, but I went to school here in Upper Kapalama. I had a career journey that included time with the late Senator Daniel Akaka for about 11 years, Deputy Director with DLNR, served for time with Kamehameha Schools as a Land Operations Manager, Director, and here now with the Congressman, being inspired to just return to federal service to help our people here in Hawaii. So thank you for that. I just wanted to, for those that aren't aware, Congressman Case's district, the first district, basically is from Makapu'u to Mililani and westward to Kapolei. So urban Honolulu, if you will, serving about 750,000 residents. In managing the local office, we have a team of 4, pretty humble staffing, but our primary purpose for folks that are listening is to help our community with any issues that they have with federal agencies. That includes veterans, benefits, immigration, Social Security benefits. So in the back here, I do have some pamphlets, constituent services guide. I'm happy to leave behind, but also refer you to our website, case.house.gov, if anyone needs any assistance. Just a brief update. Congressman has served on the House Appropriations Committee for some time since returning to Congress in 2019. Rather prestigious committee assignment, which includes all of the federal funding that we receive every fiscal year. So just today, as an example, the Appropriations Committee specific to this Kalihi community, he did include measures that included $250,000 for Kokua Kalihi Valley's accessibility and resilience project to help them modernize their facility with installation of solar PV system, an entry ramp, and a new elevator. He also advocated and included today $1 million for Kalihi Palama Health Center's emergency resilience and internal renovation project to help them repair their air conditioning system, purchase an emergency generator to power their elevator and emergency medication refrigerators, and acquire a digital panoramic X-ray machine. So at this time, the bill now moves out of that committee, passed today, and onto the full Congress to vote on, which we're confident that it will. Just to note, Congressman did release his latest electronic newsletter earlier this week on Monday. I invite you to take a copy that's on the back table. I also provided it to the chair this evening and the neighborhood board assistant to distribute amongst the board members. So I invite you to read more on all of the things that the congressman is doing at this time. Last week, Monday, he did hold a teletalk story. So a number of folks joined in. If you did, thank you. He was able to go over much of his work currently going through the appropriations budget and take questions from the community last week, Monday. Lastly, again, just reiterating the focus that I have here locally is to be your advocate with our constituent needs here in the first district. So if you or anyone needs any help, please go to visit our website, case.house.gov, or you can call our local office at 808-650-6688. Mahalo. I'll pause now for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions on the board, online, in person?
Wait, I have one.
Mr. Sung. Okay, Mr. Sung has a question.
So you heard Evan's presentation about the disaster, our disaster plan. And Kalihi is one of the most important hubs throughout the state because all the shipping comes through Kalihi and all the distribution and everything goes through Kalihi. Because of that, you think Mr. Case would be able to assist us with some funding to get our hub going? I'm not looking for much, but anything helps.
My short answer is yes. I also would second say he's in a way already assisting in that effort. For example, the Kapalama container terminal that you're referring to, he was a strong advocate in the House to rebuild, redevelop that particular terminal to allow for more transit of goods. Recently, they passed the funding for FEMA, as you know, so that we can be sure in time of response that there is funding readily available to our service agencies or our government agencies. So yes, in a nutshell, as well as, of course, mentioned earlier, the food pantry, food bank being priority projects for his community project funding assistance. Yes, thank you.
So if I emailed you guys and letting you guys know what we're planning on doing and what we need, you'll be able to assist with that.
We'd be happy to at least take a look if we're able to, or some other office to point you in the right direction. Just to note for those of you, because this might qualify, but when there are facilities like I just mentioned that need some repair that services the public, members of Congress have what they call, some call it an earmark. It was paused for a time, brought back a few years ago. That is an opportunity to bring to the table if congressmen can advocate in the next fiscal cycle if you have a project to propose. Yes. You can find more information on our website again, community project funding. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do see Mr. Rojas has his hand online.
Yes, sir. I would like to ask, and also bring it out that is there anything that for the senator, I mean for for Congressman to, is there any request or help for sustainability for our state? That's being requested from the federal at this point, or in the future, or is there any type of?
My short answer is yes. And if I can, I don't have a canned response for you tonight, but there's a whole lot of information on resilience, if you will, on our website. I encourage you to visit. There's an extensive write-up on things related to resiliency at case.house.gov.
Thank you. Are there other questions online or in person from the chair, or is it from the board or
Rapati.
company? Oh, Rapati. Okay, Mr. Liwa.
Yeah, just kind of the same question that I asked the governor representative, because I don't see it on the agenda as far as council member at case. Are you going to be here at all our meetings from now on?
Great question. I meant to address that up front. We have 24 neighborhood boards in our district, 4 staff. So for the most part, I've divided that 6 each. So to the extent I can, my hope is to be here quarterly, not every month.
Mm.
And yeah, but at the very least, when we have updates to provide, I continue to provide them to the chairs of the neighborhood boards and the assistant.
Okay, the only reason why I asked is why only now we have a representative from Ed Case coming to our meeting. So I'm glad you cleared that out. Yes.
Yeah, I
I'm glad
appreciate
you
it.
cleared that out.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Mahalo.
you.
Thank you. And if there are no more questions though, online or in person, then we can move on. I do thank you again, Keikoa. Have a good evening.
Wait, hold on. I got one
Oh,
question. He didn't answer my question. I was
oh,
asking,
Mr. Rojas. Oh, okay.
there's a difference between resilience and there's a difference between sustainability. So my question was, is there anything for federal effort or help to our state for sustainability?
I appreciate the question. Why I'm a little reluctant to answer it directly is because in this climate that we are in, the term sustainability is not widely used. And I'll own that comment. So I encourage you to look at our website. I'm happy if you would like to call me directly and take this offline. I'm happy to talk with you further.
Well, I guess, well, we're going back to my question. Is there anything that is being implemented as far, because yes, we have to be prepared for sustainability. I know we have to be resilient if there's anything comes in for climate change, which is, we just discussed that in the beginning with that heart situation. But is there anything that the congressman is pushing for the state at this point for sustainability? Because we're so worried about, you know, the 12% or whatsoever, like what happened if everything shut down? Is there anything for that's being implemented at this point or being thought about in Congress? Thank
I
you.
think that, yes, there's a number of efforts regarding local food production. Yeah, the term sustainability, sorry, this is partly my history, my life journey. It's tricky to just understand what you're referring to when you speak of sustainability. So not to take up much more of your neighborhood board's time, please, I encourage you to call me on the side. I'm happy to follow up. Mahalo.
Thank you. And I'm looking at the next agenda is Governor Josh Green's Representative Jill Radke. I believe she's not in person. If she is, let me know. I don't see her online. So we can also table Governor's representative and move on to Senator Donna Mercado Kim,
Good evening.
Office Representative Kathy Nee. Oh, sorry.
Thank you and good evening. My report has been sent out digitally to you, Chair, and your members, as well as the community members who have signed up for these reports. And, you know, the session is, the legislature has ended, and I'm still in the office. Our office is still open, and we take calls. I'm in the office almost every single day. And just to make a note, you know, I have 3 neighborhood boards in my district, as well as 2 community association meetings. And so, yeah, we do have a lot of work. We're finishing up the session. I am finishing up my community bulletin that I send out twice a year. And so you should be receiving that next week sometime. That will have a lot more information than the reports that I do monthly for the board. Just want to follow up on some of the issues that has been going on. First of all, I'm not sure if any of you got caught in the closure of H1 on Saturday due to the Middle Street merge, I'm sorry, to the overpass and the improvements that's going on H1. And so they are going to be another closure for July 11th, also on a Saturday from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So if you're coming home about 9 p.m., just be aware of that. And the freeways are all backed up because there is a complete shutdown for a portion of the freeway. And we have put that on our social media. We did in fact, and we'll also put it on for the July 11th. My office have received requests for assistance on homeowners' non-renewal of insurance due to their single wall construction of their home. So if you have single wall construction, you might want to check with your insurance company because increasingly these the winds and the weather and hurricanes are putting risks on these single wall construction homes. And so these insurance companies are hesitant to insure. So homeowners affected by these non-renewals or having difficulty in securing any coverage can turn to the Hawaii Insurance Division for guidance and resources. The government cannot require insurance to insure or renew policies, as these decisions are based on individual underwriting standards. However, the state has, at one point, we did create our own hurricane insurance when the insurance companies left Hawaii after a disaster. And so there are some options there. So I encourage you to contact DCCA if in fact you're experiencing that. Hazardous trees. I know we talked about earlier in tonight about these trees. And so we are having some of these trees in our neighborhood that are hazardous in the sense that they've got termite eaten, they're old, and some of the limbs look like they're going to be falling off, and it could damage cars, it could damage homes or people walking by. And so it is being looked at by the city, the City Division of Urban Forestry, and we can call them and they can come and inspect the trees and to see whether or not they're going to have a remedy for it or they're going to cut it down. So you can use the city's 311 to report any hazardous tree or request any assistance. Wanted to also announce that PACT, parents and children are getting at the Kahio Park Terrace. Getting to know your community and neighbors event is happening this Saturday, June 13th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Kamihaikana Resource Center. And this is to build relationships between KPT, the community, and workers who will be redeveloping that area. Also in my report are a number of bills that the governor signed into law. I'm not going to go over that. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer that. With that, I'm open to any questions I have.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? It looks like Mr. Sung has a question.
Not a question,
Well,
but
James.
I just want to say thank you for coming to the Kalihi Task Force. There is another one this month. I will forward you the invitation day. Your information and input was very valuable, although they said you are very intimidating. So having you
They
there.
tell me.
But thank you for coming and answering all those questions. Second, thank you for helping us with safe places. We are moving a little bit forward, a little bit more for getting into the DOE system. If we get at least in the Kalihi district, that'd be great. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions? I do see Mr. Rojas online.
Yes,
Simeon.
hi, Senator Kim. Good evening. I have a question for you. I know since you're part of the DOE panels, you know, they just, I know you guys just passed the law for the Act 137. I think it's for the food farm to school program. Farm to school program for farmers and ranchers to be involved in you know, DOE is
Yes.
buying from the farmers and the ranchers 30%. Do you so happen to how can we access that act and also understand that? Is there anyone that can advocate or kind of explain that that act to some of the farmers
Yes.
and and interested farmers who wants to know, so that way we can all be able to sustain ourselves and be more active with the DOE.
Yes, the governor just signed that measure, and I think he signed it, or he will be signing it. So the bill is available that can be read. I can certainly, if you want to make a more detailed presentation of the bills, because some of these bills are very involved and some complex. As far as the farmers, the Hawaii Farm Bureau has been very active and advocated for this measure. So they are very much aware of all of the issues in the act, and the farmers, they've been educating the farmers as to what it involves. And basically is to let the farmers know what are some of the produce that they would like them to grow for the school meals, so that they know in advance that these products are going to be purchased and that they're going to have a market for these products. And so a lot of it will also depend upon the DOE. They're depending upon the central kitchens to be able to prepare some of these foods and so forth. So yes, we could get that information to you.
Thank you so much, Senator.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board or the community online or in person? Seeing and hearing none. Thank you, Senator Donna
Thank you, Chair.
Masato Kim, and have a good evening.
You too.
Thank you. Up next is Representative Ikaika Hasi. Is he online or in person by any chance?
In person.
In person. Okay, gotcha.
Chair Tumbaga, we miss you.
I know. Sorry, I'll be here next month
All
with
right.
goodies from Korea.
Okay, cool. It's good to see everybody. Couple things, well, three things. First of all, tomorrow we're doing a series of community cleanups where we can talk story with neighbors about, issues, the legislative session, but also do some actual hard work that is necessary. So picking up trash, we're going to do some graffiti paint outs, that kind of thing, real kind of nuts and bolts work. So we're going to meet over here tomorrow at 5:30 for anyone who wants to participate. The second thing is we have a memo that we have been drafting around infrastructure, street safety, sidewalks, all of the kind of things that directly affect Kalihi Valley residents, but are not actually within the scope or jurisdiction of the legislature. And so we're trying to assemble like a big list that we can take to our city officials, and to other relevant agencies, with just sort of a punch list of things that need to be achieved. So for anyone else who wants to weigh in on that memo, the URL is hawaii29-streets.netlify.app. And we've already received lots of comments, but I wanted to keep it open just for a few more days and make sure that everyone who wants to chime in on that has an opportunity to do so. The last thing that I wanted to mention, fortunately, the gentleman from Haima was very informative. I wanted to mention that one thing that I did experience, and I know that we all went through a lot during the Kona lows, but one thing in particular was there's the impact of the storms and these crisis events, and then also the follow-on impacts afterwards. And so, for instance, there was the massive rainfalls, and but up on Popali Street, just on the Mauka side of the district, there was a house where a boulder moved from the top of the mountain, and it exacerbated, because of all the rainfall, right? It came down, it broke through a retaining wall, and was sort of perched above a household, a residence. And I believe it's still there, sort of sitting there precipitously. And it's those kinds of things that I think about in terms of disaster, of crisis management and disasters that, normally we don't really think about that kind of stuff. But I do think we need some new approaches for the state and the city and county to deal with, things that are on someone's personal or private property, but it's certainly not their fault. Like it's something that's much larger than any one person is dealing with. Just this morning, I got a phone call from a sister from the St. Anthony retreat home, the Catholic retreat home in the back of the valley. Similar kind of thing. A tree fell down on someone's house. It's not anyone's fault, but it is certainly liability, and it's a liability that often exceeds what people are prepared to immediately deal with. So we're going to need, I think, some new policy tools to manage that. There was one bill that we passed this session that I'm really proud of. It allows for community co-management of these sort of public resources like the mountains, the streams, and I'm hoping that we could use that community co-management strategy to deal with some of these issues. Also really happy about the Citizens United bill that we passed. That's a good one. Anyways, happy to answer any questions, live or in person.
Thank
Okay.
you. Any questions? Oh, Mr. Sung? Okay.
The land side and all that,
Yeah.
it is currently in my module 1 that I gave to Evan. So all that has been addressed. Well, mentioned. It's not fully worded out yet because this also addresses it in other modules, but it just identifies that situation already in module 1.
Thank you.
Thank you. Other questions online or in person from the board or the community? Seeing and hearing
Ropati.
none.
No,
Oh,
Ropati.
Ropati. Okay.
Ropati.
Mr. Liwa, sorry. It was panning the other way.
That's all right. Yeah, so the same questions that I asked about the Likiliki Highway and Kuhibi Way, if you could see if that's your property, your area in your representative as far as the property, because they're just trying to make sure that we have someone in that area. So that can answer that area for the residents that live along that street, but don't need a response right now. Just want to make sure if we can take a look at that, if
do.
that's your area. But I know we don't have a city representative, and I hope you can help the residents in that area. And I know the trash is sitting county, but if you can follow up, because the residents on Kuhibi, Kuapohaku Drive, last week their trash didn't get picked up because a vehicle was in the way. But when the residents called to ask about why the trash wasn't picked up, the driver just said that they were blocking, so he turned around and went. I don't know if they give warnings or honked their horn, or maybe they did not record that in their report to the residents. They had overflow trash in their area, so they just wanted to make sure if who is responsible or who do they call as far as that concern when their trash is not being picked up, but there's a vehicle blocking that area. Does the driver give warnings to notify whoever that vehicle owner is to move their car? Yeah, so
Have them call me.
okay, I will let that resident know. I know the second one, I know Olivia Mita called you and she brought her concerns up to you about her area, which is on Kalihi Street and that back road that comes from Kaliuka Elementary School. I'm trying to find it on my
Lehua Street.
Okay, Lehua Street. So that was her concern, and so I'm glad she brought that up because there was an accident into her garage that time. And I know I talked about the speed, and HPD did not give me a response on who to address the speed in Kalihi Valley. They just kind of told whatever their responsibility. As far as the speed survey and like how do we go about that? Because that's all the Kalihi Valley neighbors that I've asked. What's your concern? Speed.
Yep. It's actually a key feature of this memo that we're putting together is traffic safety, pedestrian safety along Kalihi Street. If you think about it, Kalihi Street is like having a highway running through the middle of our town, right? Because it's 2 lanes in each direction and there's no stop signs, right? People can just jam through and it's incredibly dangerous. And so
when there's no sidewalk with part of it, which makes it even more dangerous.
Right. So there's the part that's 2 lanes in each direction. That part does have sidewalks, right? And then when you go past that, it doesn't have sidewalks. And, every day I see people praying that they'll be able to cross the crosswalk, from one side of Kalihi Street to the other side of Kalihi Street without being hit. And just the other day, I was, walking on Kalihi Street and I saw someone just get hit. They were pushing a little cart and they got hit. Thankfully they were okay, but it happened right in front of me. And so it's something that I'm very concerned about. And frankly, it's a point of real contention. For those who were on the board for many years, you will remember that at one point there were crosswalks, by the school, by the park area. And the decision was made by oh gosh, I'm gonna mess up I can never remember all the city departments, but they decided to take out the crosswalk because there wasn't enough usage of it, and they didn't want. I'm gonna make sure I characterize this accurately. That there was a movement away from having crosswalks in the middle of a block, and so they decided to take it out, in spite of the fact that there's people who still cross it every day. You know, they go back and forth. There's a community and there's a school. So it's actually a very natural place for people to cross. And I think we have we have a difference of philosophy between what is the purpose of the road. Is the purpose of the road to move people quickly, or is it to move people safely? And I think those are two different philosophies. The current prevailing approach seems to be, let's move traffic as quickly as possible through the community. Then the effect of that, though, is that it makes the community actually much less safe. And I personally believe put my my values on the table. My belief is that we need to make it more safe. And so actually, if I had it my way, I would redesign the road so that it didn't prioritize vehicle speed over pedestrian safety. And it directly affects Mrs. Mita's concern because it's 2 lanes going towards her house. And unless you see the signs, and we had to put up our own no right turn sign, unless you know that it's one way coming down the mountain, people just make a right turn, and it's fast. The road is sort of designed for that decision, and it's a real problem. So I do think it actually requires a redesign, and that will absolutely require the cooperation and support of our city and county. And I'm certain that they'll do that. They were excellent with, for instance, with the 4-way stop on Kapalama and Hala Drive just a year ago. So I think there's a lot of good work that we can do together.
The city and state have been talking about it, and their project is called Complete Streets.
Yes,
In fact, Kamehameha Camphor Road is the first complete street.
That's right.
In the on Oahu.
Yeah.
So
Complete Streets is a great program. We just met with Complete Streets for Mr. Hamilton. He's the principal at Kalihi Elementary. He asked for Complete Streets to come out and look at some pedestrian safety issues impacting the young kids that go to Kalihi Elementary. And so I think we have sort of a plan for that area in the Kula Kolea neighborhood. But yeah, Complete Streets is a great, very kind of forward-thinking part of the city infrastructure.
I think Simeon, I'll go after Simeon because he had his hand raised before me.
Thank you.
Mr. Rojas.
Representative Ikaika, thank you for being here right now. And I have one question for you since you're on. Could you please check the integrity of the bridge before Aina for
bridge
for KKV? There's a bridge at the end of Kalihi
Oh, the
Valley.
wooden bridge.
Yeah, the wooden bridge. Could you please request for testing or just a report for the integrity of that bridge? Because because due to the climate change, there's a lot of people access that place, for community gathering and also whatever program and functions for KKV. But that's
Okay.
one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's one. I think it's like the wooden structures is kind of like deteriorating. And then the second one is Liki Liki Highway, the drainage. How often do they clean that? There's a lot of debris that kind of like plugging up that the screens. I just every time I pass by it, it's like there's debris on it. I don't know. Just curiosity, how often they clean that. I think it's very important because it rains a lot here in Kalihi Valley.
It does. Okay, thanks, Simeon.
And then Mr. Liwa. Oh, I did also see Mizuno. Made Mizuno have her hand up as well. But I remember Liwa. Mr. Liwa, you have a question as well. Didn't want to give you 1 minute at least, at most, because 5 minutes has gone through. But if you have your question.
So I know where Simeon is talking about. It's the end of the Kalihi Street, right before the Mount Cemetery, which is all the way up in the valley. And so he's talking about that bridge. That street program you talked about, that's What's the name?
Complete Streets.
Can we have Complete Streets also work on the upper side of Kalihi after Nalani Eha to kind of look at that area because there's no side. Also serving the whole Kalihi Street on that side. Thank you.
So I have talked with Complete Streets about that area, Mauka of Nalaneha. And so what I think we need there, Rapati, is we need a new strategy for dealing with the parked cars. And parking is kind of a general problem all throughout Kalihi, right? But specifically, Mauka of Nalaneha, you have what are termed undeveloped sidewalks. I think that's the phrase. And you know, it's the land that should be a sidewalk, but because there's insufficient parking or people just choose not to park in their own garages, whatever the situation is, they park on that land. And as a result, every day I see old people, young people walking in the street to get above in that area. And so, you know, we've talked about this a little bit offline, right? Trying to find other parking areas. And so we should revisit that. And the summer's a great time for us to work on that.
Wait, Mr. Hamilton.
Yeah, I
has a
also see
question.
Mizuno, May Mizuno had her hand up first. So if that's okay for me to go with her and then Hamilton, if that's okay. May, are you still on? You're mute right now. But if
Sorry, I'm here. I'm here.
Gotcha, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Representative Hussey, since we're talking about sidewalks, pedestrians, and I have a question for you. Back in 2024, there was a resolution that passed requesting the city and county to conduct a sidewalk feasibility study along Kalihi Street from Kamanaiki Street all the way to Kalihi Valley Park. And that was in 2024 and it passed. You should receive results of it. Did you receive it? And has it been communicated to the board?
Communicate to this neighborhood board.
Yes. And to the community.
That's so May, is that a when you're the rep?
Yes.
Okay. Let me follow up on that and check on the status of that.
Received it back in 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. And then Mr. Hamilton.
I just wanted to mahalo Rep Hussey for meeting with me the other day. It was a productive meeting talking about the complete streets, how we get our students to school safely every morning, and how we can partner up to make sure that we're arriving on time to school every single day throughout the school year. So mahalo.
Thank you, John.
Thank you. And if there are no more questions from board or the community online or in person, I do thank you, Mr. Hussey, and have a good evening.
Thank you too, and have a good trip.
Thank you. Oh, I already went on the trip, but thank you. But now we'll move on to approval of regular meeting minutes, Wednesday, May 13, 2026. Can I get a motion?
I motion.
Okay, Mr. Sung motion. Any second?
I second.
Second by Mr. Liwa. Any discussions or corrections? Mr. Rojas, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I had my hand up, but I was gonna. This was pertaining to Hussey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it out that, you know, the safety of that bridge right next to Nalane Eha. You know, people there's a sign there. It says no parking over there, and there's a reason why. It's because the of the integrity of that bridge.
Okay.
It's
So,
it's
Simeon,
very important. So because of this climate change,
Mr.
this thing is going on. We have to do something. What are we gonna do about that?
Okay. Simeon, Mr. Hussey is not in the room anymore, so we can take it offline
Would that
if
be
you'd like to.
city? Would that be a city thing or would it be a state thing?
That I don't have the answer to, but can work with Mr. Hussey offline.
Got it.
But right now we're
Okay.
focusing on the meeting minutes.
All right.
So any discussions? Seeing and hearing no further discussions. We'll just do the quick vote. Are there any nays or abstain to the meeting minutes? Seeing and hearing none, so I'm assuming that is a unanimous aye for all that are present. And so the May 13, 2026 minutes are approved. Thank you, everyone. Then we'll move on to committee reports and assignments. It's okay to just say no report. So we'll just go one by one real quick. State and County Budget Committee. May, actually, I don't see, oh no, May is online. Yeah, if you have no report, then we can move on to next
No report.
report. Thank you. Sidewalk, S-Curve, and Transportation Committee.
No report.
No. Okay, and I'll skip over Mr. Franklin's to Beautification and Resolution. Sustainability Committee. Seminar Alan Kumalai.
Alan, you have anything?
None.
No report. Okay, no problem. RPZ Committee, Mr. Kumalai.
None.
Thank you. I don't think Mr. Lua Lemaga is online or in person. So we'll move on to Joint Committee, Mr. Sung.
You heard my main project that I've been working on with Haima. I'm going to skip that one. But the Safe Places has been moving forward. We are finally contact with the DOE to get it into the school, at least in the Barrington complex. So I have that. And besides that, nothing else to report.
Thank you. Education Committee, Mr. Liwa.
Yes, so the DOE is doing the free summer meals offered to 74 schools in the state of in the state. But then the program is from June 9th through July 17th. So we encourage all the students to go and get their free meals. Breakfast is from 7:15 to 8:45 a.m. and lunch is from 10:30 to noon. And again, it's open to students, 18 and under, and those who are in the special ed program, they're up to 21, and so they have to show their, they have to show their papers as far as the special ed program. But again, this is open to all the students that would like to get a summer meal. The meal is free. You just go to the cafeterias. In our area, we have Dole Middle School, Farrington High School, Fern Elementary, Kaivai Elementary, Kalakaua Middle School, Kalihi Elementary School, Kalihi Waina, Kapalama Elementary School. And so those are the schools that's in our community. So parents, if you're watching, please take your students, your kids to go get some free meals. I also got an email from EF Tours. So if anyone out there that would like to host international students, that you could, I'll send an email to Chair. So if you want to take a look at hosting an international students, there is a rate for that that they will give to the family that will be hosting the international students that will be visiting the state of Hawaii. And that's all I have for my report.
Thank you. And then my brief report: to be aware of scams, emails or texts. Double check the sender's email address to the email on this agenda. You can try to call or text. There's other ways to contact the sender if you're unsure. But now we'll move on to announcements. So next meeting is Wednesday, July 8, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. at the Kalihi Valley District Park. Broadcast meetings, neighborhood board meetings aired on Olelo Channel 49 on the fourth Saturday of the month at 6 p.m. and the first and third Sunday of the month at 9 a.m. Are there any more announcements?
Yes.
Additional? Oh, yes, go on.
So, as I mentioned that I wanted to make sure we bring this up, and I'm going to get closer to the camera because this was one of the concerns. It's not an announcement, but I wanted to bring it in the community concern. So this was the report from one of the concerned residents when we were at the Kapala Mahale about kids trespassing into their property and jumping over their property into the wall, into the pond. And I think it was Duck Pond when she kind of shared it. So I was going through social media and Hawaii HH News, which is where they kind of share a lot of videos. I found the video of the kids actually disrespecting the and so I just want to make sure it's recorded on the where's the camera?
We see it.
So this is HH News. Thank you. I'm glad it's on a bigger screen. So that's her, the resident that came to brought up her concern. That gentleman just pushed her to the side.
Well,
So I'm not I don't know how to screenshot and save it, but I just wanted to put it on record. And the comment that the whoever is in charge of that social media platform um, kind of made it like she's not from Hawaii. And I just want to remind them that Kalihi Valley has a lot of Portuguese that lived in Hawaii. So, she does have Portuguese as, long time family that came in here. So I just want you to understand that, that's their property. And if they tell you no, it's no. Okay. And by looking at those who trespassed, they did not look like they were from Kalihi. Because if you're from Kalihi, you understand and you show respect. And so most Kalihi people who were commenting on that were telling them to show some respect. Yeah. And so those are outsiders coming and they're enjoying themselves. So one day I will go and visit her and just let her know that there is evidence of that being happening. And so I just wanted to bring that up to the neighborhood board members because she brought that up earlier.
Thank you. And if there are no other announcements,
I got
was
my
it
hand raised up.
okay? I also saw
Everybody,
Mr. Liwa. Okay, Mr. Ross, go on.
Rapati, you know what? Since one of the um one of the concern earlier was why we don't have any Department of Education representing within our neighborhood board. But you know what? Since you're on the education side, I know you have connection to like like the principals and stuff like that. We would love to find as well like what is going on in the school, what is going on, because it does affect the kids, the community, and all that stuff. And I think since you're on it, man, I mean, that would be great if you could ask like all the principals to be involved that who is in the Kalihi Valley area. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, so before he ever even brought that up, that's why I go to the SCC meetings. And so I bring up the concern. So yeah, you're right. And Mr. Hamilton is on here. So he's Kalihi Elementary School. So I would love to know when his school community council meeting is. And so that way I can attend and kind of listen to what the school rates are as far as the statistics of so I'd like to know the data on that and what are the concerns as far as the faculty and staff and as well as the students, how we can both improve. And I know we talked about there's no playground in the area. So we talked about Camp 4 housing upper, which we call uptown, that they go to Kalihi Elementary School. So there's no playground in that area. And I know we talked about improving that. So there is no such thing for the kids to go and be a kid. They have to be adults right away because Kalihi Valley Homes, their gym is condemned. Over here, we just talked about Fakia talking about here, nothing for this. So other things we can do. And I saw Mr. Hamilton's hand go up, so I just want to hear from him.
Yeah, Mr. Hamilton, any announcements or add-on?
No, but I just wanted to point out that for our school community council, as with all schools, information about our meetings should be posted on our website. We just wrapped up our school community council meetings for the year.
Right.
So check back as we reopen in August for our meeting dates as we move forward.
Sure.
Mr.
We'll be
Hamilton,
emailing you. Go ahead, Simeon.
Yeah, I wanted to thank you. I think I met you once before at Kaiwai Elementary, and
Right.
thank you for thank you very much for coming to this meeting.
Sorry. So,
Right.
Madam Chair, I just want to close out. I know we have 10 more minutes. My announcement is our Lead the Mount. We're having our fundraiser for our hall. And so we do have a fun dance in September, which I'll let everyone know if you could support our fundraising cause to maintain our facilities. So I'll send that out at the next meeting. Thank you. Mahalo.
Thank you so much. And if there are no further announcements, this meeting is adjourned at 8:50. Thank you, everyone.